Hello, today I'm glad to present our Sanofi application called CompoundToolbox. Our presentation will be divided in several parts. First one, Sébastien Charnot and I will introduce ourselves quickly, and then we will speak about CompoundToolbox, what it is, and how it works. At the end, we will share our experiences. So I am FlorencePernigotti. I'm working at Sanofi R&D as a manager of the French Research, Data Management and Scientific Computing team located in Vitry, a town near Paris in France. As you may know, Sanofi R&D is one of the biggest worldwide pharmaceutical company with around 15,400 employees across 3 continents and based in 6 key regions: France, Belgium, Germany, North America, Japan, and Asia. Sanofi's vision is to become and to be the leader of the industry innovation, keeping in mind to deliver new solutions, transformative solutions to the patients with the strategy of speeding the early development phase, allocating the project teams to the priority therapeutic areas. But let's move and go back to CompoundToolbox. So CompoundToolbox, a short story. CompoundToolbox is an application which was developed internally by our colleagues in Frankfurt 15 years ago, with already a global scientist users community. In Q3 2018, we decided to remediate to its obsolescence. Remediation, which means 2 big challenges. The first one was to completely and drastically change the architecture and move also to a better user-friendly interface. For this challenge, we count on the expertise of the Infogen company consultants, and they did a great work. Then the second challenge was to get consolidated and a centralized administration of the pipeline pilot protocols with an optimized support and maintenance for our users. For this specific challenge, the Discengine consultants company took care of it with a great success, and particularly Sébastien did it. So Sébastien is the best person now to talk about CompoundToolbox and give you more details. So Sébastien, the floor is yours.
Hello, so I'm Sébastien Charnot. I'm a disk engine consultant for Sanofi, and I'm working on CompoundToolbox. So first, I will present to you Disk Engine. Disk Engine is a company for life science specialized in making software and making some consulting. It has been founded in 2004 in Paris. We are around 50 employees and have more than 70 customers worldwide. Among those customers, we have big pharma companies such as Sanofi or GSK. We can have also some cosmetology companies such as L'Oréal or chemical companies like Bayer or Global Bioenergies. We have some partners helping us to achieve our goals such as Dassault Systems, BIOVIA, Oracle, TIBCO, and PerkinElmer with Spotfire, and I'm LabVoice on Nanome. Our experiences helping us to have integration capabilities and experience on Chemex and software, CCG software, OpenEye software, Schrödinger, Gaussian software, and Sybase software. But also, it helps us to have experience on high-performance computing environment and cloud environment. Now, I will present to you what is CompoundToolbox and what is doing CompoundToolbox. As Florence told you before, CompoundToolbox is a Sanofi Research web application created in 2005, upgraded in 2019. It's a widely used application with 120 users every month and 1,000 jobs running every month. So as you can imagine, this amount of users or jobs needs to have a powerful administration and support. So Pipeline Pilot can be quite difficult to use when you don't have any programming skills. So CompoundToolbox is made to allow users to run different kinds of BIOVIA Pipeline Pilot protocols aiming to make their life easier. To do so, we have 95 protocols used for different subjects, such as complex calculation, dashboards, database requests, and data manipulation. So now I will show you some examples of those protocols. So for the complex calculations, those protocols are really difficult to implement and permit the users to calculate the inmet models or the energy clusters with a few clicks. We have also some dashboarding protocols, like I told you, permitting with only one compound ID or to have biological, analytical, logistic, and chemistry data on the same page. So it's really useful for users who want to see where is their favorite compound. We also have some protocols permitting to get data from the different Sanofi databases, such as analytical databases, logistics databases to get the plate bar information or the compound availability. We have also some chemistry protocols helping the scientists to get a structure from an ID or just to calculate the similarity of a compound. So from one compound, you can see all the similar compounds in Sanofi database. But we have also some protocol to get biological data. And finally, we have some data manipulation protocol. As you know, scientists may have some routine to do with the files. So those protocols are made to automatize this task and make their life easier. So they will just have to do 3 clicks and have their data ready. Now I will show you how does it work, and particularly the administration, the support, and the maintenance part. So the main question we had when we upgraded CompoundToolbox was, how do we go from a protocol to a friendly web interface? So we had 2 challenges there. The first challenge we had was, how do you use parameters from a protocol to show it in the web interface? So the idea we had was to use the parameters metadata. Indeed, those metadata are available in the XMLDB, so the application could get them easily, and then it would make the application to understand which kind of parameter is it. So it could show if it's a structure drawing, a file chooser, a free text, or even a Dropbox or a checkbox. The second issue we had was, how do we get the result when the protocol has finished to run? At first, we decided to get data directly from the job directory, but the issue we had here was that the user had to connect every time to the Pipeline Pilot server, so it was really not useful and really hard to use for the user. So we decided to make a REST call from the web application to the Pipeline Pilot server to get the results. So the user would just have to click on the file to see it. As a result, we can see here an example of a result. So on the right side of the page, you can see a snapshot in HTML of the results, so the user can see how the data is organized and how does it look. And at the left, you can see the list of all the files created by the protocol. So the user just have to click on the link to download it. To work with good continuity and to have an efficient maintenance, we had to have 3 environments with 3 servers each. Those servers were a Windows server hosting BIOVIA Pipeline Pilot, another one in Linux permitting to run the web application, and then a MySQL database server for the internal data of the application. Now I will present to you the administration of the application. So we modified the access right management to make it protocol to protocol and to make it compliant with Sanofi central system. Moreover, a user group has been created in Microsoft Teams, so the user can interact between themselves and also with the support if they want to ask questions. This usement jobs I presented to you just before needed to be automated. So to know which occurred every day, we decided to run a scheduled task, which is a protocol scanning all the previous protocol in the last 24 hours to see if there is any issue during the last day, such as cancelled jobs or just errors. So if the error needs further information, an email is sent to the user to inquire about it. So as I will explain it to you later, the user will be able to give some information. And if we saw that it's a user-related error, so we can call him or just send a mail to explain him or her how to run the protocol without any issue. So here I will explain it to you when we want to develop new features or correct a bug. So the user of the support will create a ticket in GitLab to ensure transparent follow-up. We chose to use GitLab because it has a Git environment and also a simple ticketing system, permitting the user to follow the development and also to make some observation. And then a new development in the development environment can start with an active participation of the user. Every time a new feature, a new protocol or bug correction is needed, the protocol will always follow the timeline in the slide. So at first, when a new feature is wanted by the user will set up a meeting with the developer. So after this meeting, a sample of data has to be sent to the developer so he can develop the protocol and also specifying the guidelines and telling him what is the output needed. Then the development can start, and once the developer is satisfied with the data, so the protocol can go in test. In the test environment, we have some peer-reviewed tests with the user. If the new protocol or the new feature is really important for the users, then we can decide to ask some scientists to come with the main scientist to give some other opinion or just make some review. If it's satisfying, it will go in production. I will come to it later. And if it's not satisfying, it will go in development again. And we will start again a development phase with the new guidelines. So when it is validated, the protocol is pushed in GitLab through the Git environment, and then it will go in production. From GitLab, we will pull the protocol in the production environment, and then we will be able to synchronize the application to make the protocol available for every user using CompoundToolbox. So I will add that we also created a collection of components in Sanofi in order to facilitate the development. Indeed, some components such as get structure from Sanofi ID is really used a lot in CompoundToolbox. So we decided to create a component. So when we have a maintenance to do on it, we just have to modify the main component. And to conclude, I'd say that CompoundToolbox is a user-friendly web interface using BIOVIA Pipeline Pilot. CompoundToolbox is also the result of a long-term partnership between DiskEngine and Sanofi. And then, thanks to the users who are actively using it and giving them their feedback on an efficient administration and maintenance, the CompoundToolbox is still evolving to help the user to have more protocols filling their needs. And to conclude, I'll say that BIOVIA Pipeline Pilot, and particularly the chemistry collection of Pipeline Pilot, is a powerful tool to work with scientific data. Thanks for your attention, and goodbye.